Hey guys, good day to you. I hope it's going well for you. I am sipping a little bit of coffee today, cautiously. And the reason why is because my the roomie, the cardiac, has decided that all along now we've been fixing our coffee at twice the strength that we normally fix it. That for 6 cups we'd use a full scoop instead of using a full scoop for a full pot. Now, I don't know how she would not have noticed, how weak the coffee was on the days that I fixed it. You know what I'm saying? But it's good at this point. I don't know what's going on with that. And she's believing that she's using a full scoop for 6 cups, and she always has, which would mean we'd use 2 full scoops for a full pot. And that's what she believes that we've always been fixing. There's always been, really strong coffee. And I hope that, that she's okay. She's been having a lot of trouble, it seems like, recently. Just over the last week, it seems, we've not been making progress in the correct direction. It's, she felt like she needed to turn her oxygen back up, and so that happened. And we're doing that. She's not as being able to be as active as she was before. She feels like she's not really getting enough oxygen or not getting enough air. She's might not breathing as well. She has reported her having higher blood pressure. She wants to sleep a lot, and we did take her to the lung doctor, as she calls them, and they checked her out, and they were saying, yeah, well, you need to probably get the other side of it checked out, because the other side of it's the heart. So, but instead of us going straight after those guys or asking them for a recommendation or something to the office, she just wait until her Monday appointment. So, pray for her. And, anytime a lot of times she and I don't seem to agree on lots. If I have an idea, it's usually something else different for her. And I I explained to her what the symptoms that she was telling me about this morning. I said, I again suggested maybe you should call the heart doctor, but then there was some reason why it's not, maybe something that blah, blah, blah. So I listened to all these more concerning symptoms, right? And I said, well, listen, what you're telling me is a whole bunch of symptoms that are very concerning, and that maybe things need to be checked out. Maybe, I don't know, they need to open you up and put a few more stitches back in that heart or something. But why not give them a call and just say, hey, I'm having these symptoms. I'm wondering if that's something I should be concerned about. And come see you guys sooner than, the Monday appointment. And she seemed to hear me that time. Maybe she will. But you guys pray for her. Because I don't seem to be able to advise in any way. The problem, like any man, whenever I hear someone telling me all their problems and things, I am thinking, well, these things need to be addressed, right? Especially if it's a medical concern and blah, 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 especially if it's this, especially if it's that. And as a male, we normally go, okay, well, to solve the problem is, right? And so whenever I'm thinking, if you have emotional or psychological things you like to talk about, events, you just want to be heard, of course, that's great. But if we're talking about life concerning issues, possibly we should take the masculine point of view and go proactive on this, and not sit around and wait until whenever to find out something. You know what I'm saying? It's a different approach, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is, but golly, we do tend to think a little differently. I know that. And I'm just hoping and praying that these people at the damned law office get their stuff together, and this executor of the will and everything puts in order the what's little left of the estate that is being left to me, because an executor would take care of these things instead of running through all the money and giving it all away to everybody else, and then turn around and hand it over to me. Oh, here's something that's broken, and you'll have to fix it. That would be certainly a mismanagement of the estate, absolutely, for sure. Plus, we could ask questions. Who knows how it's going to turn out? Maybe it'll turn out just great, and I'll end up with $500,000 in my pocket too. But in any case, pray that that gets solved soon, and that little house is turned over to us so that we'll have a place to put the cardiac patient. I was telling her, it was my plan that, if she continues to recover and everything, that she'll be able to, we'll be able to put her in the house down there. And because I know that God's going to be moving me off to somewhere, but at least that way, I could put her in charge of it in exchange for rent, you see. So she'd have like a job overseeing the property in exchange for whatever the rent would have been. That way, I'm being able to help her out, and she's being okay. I mean, being a cardiac patient, I think that she's going to need all the help that she can get, even if she recovered really well and everything was going very, very well, and she was active, and the oxygen levels were staying high, and the everything was working, and we could turn down her oxygen gradually week by week, which is the optimal thing. That's the plan, I think, in the optimal conditions, is to eliminate the oxygen as soon as possible, because they're able to keep their oxygen up. But again, in these cases with these types of surgeries, there can be it can be a rougher road to rehabilitation. It could be taking a little bit longer than what they initially thought. And of course, that would be perfect to be able to have that house for them. And because I don't know where God's going to be moving us to, but I know they're probably going to need a place to stay, and that would be good to be able to provide them that. It would. Past that, I've seen a couple of the headlines today. I watched a video by CJ. Oh, and they're your number one fan, which again, the terminology, guys, I had to turn away. The terminology, these made up terms that, it's, okay, because fans is short for fanatics, okay? And fanatics are, generally speaking, those that are considered admirers of their obsession, basically. Them that they allow themselves to be obsessed with. All those people that loved Elvis. They loved him. They loved him. But those that want to take everything you have and don't want you to have anything good, and don't want you to have, and just and are like, I can't stand the fact that they're waking up peacefully, so I have to fly over them and very loudly at 6 in the damn morning or something. That's not a fan. That's a hater. Haters and lovers are two different things. They're opposites of each other. Hate is the opposite of love. Darkness is the opposite of light. Death is the opposite of life. And that's how it goes. I don't know what glazing means. I truly don't. I would prefer, if I had my way, they wouldn't look at me. They wouldn't watch me. They wouldn't see me. They would move on to other things, and someone would provide them other things to move on to. Some type of, maybe some chance of self-improvement, for example. I don't know. So it's a good report. I did like the part about how, we're supposed to be protected. That's the second time we heard that, in the last couple of days, that that we're definitely going to be protected. And that's good. We're working on this one thing that they've been trying to do, and we're trying to get that out. I'll have to make a note about that maybe, but that one little thing there. And past that, then we'd probably be in pretty darn good shape. I have noticed, though, there does seem to be a heat coming around and through here, and maybe more in the living room again, like it was. And I should take a picture of this tree and show it to you. That's just outside of my end of the house. It has several, many leaves on it, which is curled over for no reason, almost like from heat. And I'm wondering if there isn't some type of bad energy being emanated from nearby that's vibrating through here, some type of, because the tree next to it's not touched. And that end of the house is just, I guess, because I can feel a difference between the vibration between that end and this end. And especially here in this section, it seems particularly strong, some type of energy. And I guess it's blasting right out through there in sort of a wide scope. But it does have, there's a real cutoff on it though. On the right hand side, I can see a real strong cutoff. Yep. Yeah, I hope to be moving soon. I hope to get this other stuff put in place so we can begin to receive cash and so on. I've been told many times that our income will take off and just skyrocket, providing me far more money than I could have imagined. And things are supposed to take off like that after that. So we're going to get that started. One of I think the concerning things about cardiac is that, she's been very sleepy. Now, I know the witch was trying to put sort of a slumber over everyone here, I guess, but, one of the symptoms of heart problems is excessive tiredness. And that's what it seems. It's like she's really tired. So again, pray for her and pray for me. And I pray that if anyone is aiming any devices at us that is emanating any type of harmful rays that would curl leaves on trees, that's ended. And that they don't have any ability to do any of that. Either that or they're, ended. So they're not harming us. And why would we think about that? Because, gee whiz, I'll tell you, we have been experienced some pretty bad stuff. It's not good. So yeah, we'll be happy to be moving on past this, and hopefully we'll be able to get into the right place to be able to get our work done soon. Again, thank you so very much for all your love and all your help. And you guys just, again, all that I pray in the name of the Father. Well, I pray in the name of the Son, actually. In the name of the light, the truth, and the life. The Prince of Peace. Our Father who art in heaven, amen. Again, guys, thanks so very much for all your love and support, and for the good messages, and for just everything that's, now we're hitting that point where they were talking about how we'd be experiencing a lot of gratitude. Well, we do that a lot anyway. It's just, I'm thankful for a whole lot of things. It's just simple and easy little things. It's just like, like being able to take a good shower. So just everything that's good, I'm thankful for. That's for sure. But I'm most thankful for the light. I'm thankful for heaven and those that love me sincerely and want the best for me. And that's what I'm most grateful for. I'm grateful for our Lord. I'm grateful for the good God, them that is the light. All the people like. All of them have happened. Okay, guys. Don't mean to bore you. And I hope you have a good day. Oh, I did want to put out, we tried going live yesterday just to see if it would work. And apparently they have other requirements. I'm not sure what they mean by it, but I know you had to have 50 subscribers just to go live. But then it says something about how you have to have plus 25 or something to, I don't know, do something. But it's like you're limited in your abilities to be live or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to go read up on that. But what the surprising part was, I wasn't even on there for 2.5 minutes, right? And someone came on and says, hi. And I thought, oh, well, hey. And I tried to explain to him I was just experimenting and trying out live. And before I could finish, there was another one. So that was an interesting experience. And I can see where it could be addictive. I've watched other people, in their initial live streams and stuff, and noticed how very quickly they became addicted to it. Because, they're apparently interacting with all these people on a sort of a one-to-one kind of basis. Well, but how many of them are real? How many are bots? How many are just the scenery? How inflated could your ego become from a bunch of fakery, right? That's what I'm saying. How much of it's real? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so very much. God bless you all.